Gypsies, and welcome back to the Gypsy Boosh channel. I am Emily, the Gypsy Boosh, that wandering, traveling mouth of mine with the traveling interest in books, food, and everything else random. Gypsy Boosh is actually the name of my first ever foodie blog that I started on WordPress, and it is still up. I'm still blogging over there, and a lot of my recipe trials and successes and semi-fails are still recorded over there. So if you'd like to hop over there and check out some of my past, present, and future recipes, you can. I'll put the link in the comments and in the description box. But this video is just a Happy New Year video. There's so much going on, New Year and the new goals, and I kind of just wanted to take a look back at my first ever vision board that I ever made, and I think that was back in 2016, I want to say. I've always been the type to collect things that inspire me, the fortunes from fortune cookies and things from magazines and books. So this was my first ever dedicated vision board. And I thought it would be nice just to take a look back and I'll turn the camera around and we'll go through it together. But I thought it would be nice to go through and just kind of see the type of things that I did right. Since it was my first ever, I kind of feel like it was a little bit not unfocused, but unspecified, which is what they actually tell you to do, is be specific when you're asking. And just to see how things have come to fruition, and also take a look at how sometimes things come to life in ways that you actually didn't expect. So I'm going to turn the camera around now and we can take a look at it together. All right, I do want to start down here at the bottom because this article piece came out of one of those Women's Day magazines you get by the cash register at the grocery store, and it was talking about getting paid to read books. And I always, like I said, I pulled the page out, not really thinking about it, but thinking, oh, this is a great idea. And they talked a lot about, Amazon audiobooks and some other sites. And this was probably, I think this was like 2015, 2016 probably, because after reading this, it was either after reading this, it had to be. I went out and I got my Snowball microphone from Staples, I believe it was. And it was on sale. I think I paid like $64 for it. But I didn't, I hadn't focused in on it, didn't really know. I read this, but I never got online to get started. And it wasn't until 2 years later that I actually set about auditioning for doing someone's audiobook, which I actually did and actually finished, and it is published. It is on Audible. While I was waiting on that, I actually watched videos of one man on YouTube, and I can't remember his name, but I'll try to insert it once I go back and check my video history. I watched videos, and he talked about getting into voiceover, and he was very clear on one thing, and I give the same advice. If you're considering doing an audiobook, go in a small closet or a small space and read a book, and if you mess up, actually start over and see how you like doing that, because that is exactly what doing an audiobook is. It is very tedious, it's very time consuming, and I'm gonna be honest, halfway through the process, I was like, why did I sign on for this? But it was very rewarding to me. It was me actually being able to do something technical that I wasn't used to doing. And I'm actually glad that I did it. I'm glad that I actually sat down and got through it and worked on, uploading audio files and editing. And that was the thing. I did it all myself. I edited it myself. I made sure it was in the proper format. Sometimes I had to text my dad, who's like a techie, and be like, hey, do you know what this means? But they do offer good help in Amazon ACX. They have tutorial videos and everything, and they have good outlines when you first start. So if you're not sure, they've always got something there for you. But I'm actually glad I did it, and that was a learning experience for me. So I know that I can do it in other genres. And I actually have that video on my site. So it's in the published category that I have, published playlist. It's Mardi Gras Madness, written by Lynn Shure. And honestly, I was just so overjoyed that she selected me. And because when you first get started, you're like, nobody's going to pick me. This is my first one. So I actually was happy that happened. I have this Marvelous Melissa. I don't know how many people have Melissa McCarthy on their vision boards, but I love her. Me and my husband love Mike and Molly. And during the time that I would come home when I was working, and as soon as I got home, I was pulling out the laptop and I was writing, and we would watch Mike and Molly, and even the season where she actually quit her teaching job to become a writer. It was very inspiring to me. I love Melissa McCarthy. I love pretty much all her projects. The serious ones, the silly ones, the spoofy ones, I love them all. And I have revived the show because I was so sad when Mike and Molly ended. And I actually didn't revive the show by getting it back on the network. However, I was able to revive it in my mind because I actually had the chance to enter a contest to, and you could enter whatever you wanted, and you could enter scripts for television shows that had been canceled after a certain time. So I did enter my script for one episode of Mike and Molly that I created, and it is actually up on my emilywalker.wordpress.com site, so I'll link that down below. I did not win, but I am glad that I did it. That was the first writing contest I entered, and it's one of those things that gets me out of my comfort zone, that I know how the process goes, and I can probably try that again. Now, I also have Empire on here. I haven't built my empire, but what I did do this year, or last year, I should say, is focus on the brand. And that'll lead up to here because I wrote I found this in a magazine. It had pop artists on it, and I started putting these things around it. Future tastemakers. This young creative uses filmmaking as a megaphone. I've got my Walker Take 2 clapboard. And I really, I was thinking about making movies later on, like Ava DuVernay and something like that. Then I realized that actually the Gypsy Boost channel was my first foray into making videos and editing. And I don't do complicated stuff, and I'm not got all the equipment, but I realized that this was the start of me making videos that I actually enjoyed. I loved editing and figuring out how to add different things. And that is why I came back and wrote Gypsy Boost on there, because I was like, you actually did do that. You have your actual channel. And on my new vision boards, I talk about growing that channel, and I really hope that I can start to grow in the new year and this year and the years to come. The rest of it is all about the books, getting people to read my books. I've got this money falling. No, I'm not getting paid to be a writer, but I will. The money is not falling from the sky, but it is coming in, and that pertains to just my family. Sometimes we have rough times, but I'm going to say right here, this quote: may God give you for every storm a rainbow, for every tear a smile, for every care a promise, and an answer for each prayer. And as that being growing my spirituality and growing our finances so we can be better stewards and of greater service to our family and ourselves, that has happened. Lots of situations have come up, but we have been able to overcome a lot, and we are still continuing to do so. And that is all thanks to the Creator, the universe, Most High, God, whatever name we call him. He is he. I have this over here. I did start some comics, and I'm still trying to figure out how to best publish them or get them across. With the new COPA laws, it's kind of hard. I wanted to do animation in this new year on my channel, and I was actually practicing last year a lot, which is what took up a lot of time, but I don't know how that's going to come across yet. So this is just kind of my first start. Like I said, it's not really focused and specific. I'm still working on things like growing my my audience. So I actually do have a dedicated book Instagram, and it is called Gypsy Boosh Pub. I'll link that down below if you want to go follow there. I have my personal IG, and I think things were kind of getting mixed up, but and I'm learning how to start sharing and asking for feedback and promoting myself. That's a new thing this year. So I have these two right here because I drew that I was going to write adult books and children's books. And after I completed this, I did, like I said, I would get the laptop and write after work. And I was actually able to self-publish with an idea that my cousin had originally told me about a long time ago about Amazon. And I was always thinking, oh no, I have to go the traditional route or whatever. And she told me about it. And after I finished, or pretty much midway through, I was like, I could actually put this out myself. So the first adult book was The True House Widows of St. Louis, which was a spoof on the Real Housewives series that I love. I love Atlanta and I love New Jersey. And it was also a tribute to my hometown. So I actually made a commercial for that during my first giveaway. And that was the first video that I actually uploaded to the Gypsy Boosh channel. Then it was called Emily Walker. And that's when I really started to change and rebrand into the Gypsy Boosh channel to connect it all. And I did finish my children's literature book. It's called The Power of One. And I'm currently working on getting it up on Amazon as well. I did the illustrations and the text. And that's one of the things when you talk about, you know, your momentum and your progress. I being the critique of myself, so I keep putting it off because I'm not confident in what I put out, but I don't know how other people will receive. Other people I've shown have said that, you know, the artistry is great. The illustrations are really nice and are surprised that I actually did it. So I just have to have that confidence to put out what I'm actually making. And that's all a part of this new 2020 vision, is being confident and not hiding, hiding under a bushel. Don't hide my light. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. So bear with me. I'm working on some stuff, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please consider subscribing, giving it a like. Comment down below if you've made a vision board or what you're going to put on your new vision board for the 2020. All right, Gypsies, I'll talk to you later. Bye.